Hey, what's up everybody? Smoking in the graveyard here. My video, Whale Wars Sucks, Sea Shepherd are Incompetent Boobs, has gotten a lot of comments in the past few days by people who seem to know a whole lot more about the show and the Sea Shepherd group than I do. I've only seen the last 3 episodes, and that's pretty much what I was commenting on. So I was going to respond to this one comment left that was actually addressing what I said in the video by a Whale Wars supporter. Sorry I'm so great too writes a couple of things. Number one, Audie Gill ran out of fuel. That's why it stopped. Okay, that pretty much just goes to prove my point even more that the Sea Shepherd are incompetent boobs. Why did he let his boat run out of gas in the middle of the ocean? I mean, I'm sure the Audie Gill must have obviously had a gas gauge, and before, when he's getting low, maybe he should have refueled so he wasn't just a sitting duck out there. If your defense of why they're not incompetent is that they let their boat run out of gas and that's why it got hit, that's a pretty bad argument, because running out of gas is stupid. Number two, thanks for the information. I kind of figured it was something like that. I didn't know if Steve Irwin maybe bought the boat for them like Bob Barker did, the other boats. So, yeah, I didn't know the whole story, but that makes sense. They named the boat after him. Number three, old ships have problems. And not everyone's an engineer, so why would you expect the few engineers to stay awake 24/7? I don't. Never said I did. I'm not sure if this is addressing the oil issue or the fresh water supply issue. My problem is, when I was watching the show, the boat ran out of water. It ran out of the fresh water supply. It sprung a leak during the middle of the night, and the narrator said, while they were sleeping, while everyone was sleeping, I believe is how it was worded, while everyone was asleep, the water sprung a leak. Okay, you don't have to be an engineer to catch a water leak. It just seems stupid for everyone to sleep all at the same time. You should have somebody on guard on that boat, at all times. After all, I thought they were like at war, When you're at war, you don't all sleep at the same time. Okay, number four. The oil was dumb but understandable. It's an old ship, it would be hard to guess. Well, it is one of the least stupid things they've done. It's definitely less stupid than running out of gas in the middle of the ocean. But you have to consider, if they're in an old ship, they don't know how long they're going to be out at sea, and they're in a supposed war, you think that they would order extra of everything. The guy did at least admit that he made a mistake, so I will give him that. Number five, the little boats were tied up. The lines broke because of 50-knot winds. You should pay attention. Maybe you should pay attention, because I didn't say the boats weren't tied up. I said they were tied up poorly. They were tied up incorrectly. And I also mentioned that a storm hit. I didn't mention the exact knottage of the winds, but I mentioned that a storm hit. The fact is that when you're in the ocean, storms can hit at any time. And if they were too busy hugging and crying and looking at dolphins and crap to do their job and tie up the boats correctly, and that's why they got away. I don't care about the 50-knot winds. They're in the middle of the ocean. They should have tied up the boats correctly. Point number six. Wrecking the boat was on that guy. Yeah, it was incredibly stupid. The guy is a member of Sea Shepherd, and it makes all of them look bad. So, if that guy is so stupid that he doesn't know basic boating, then he shouldn't have been behind the wheel of a boat. Plain and simple. Or maybe they should have trained the guy. If somebody does something stupid in a group, it makes everyone look bad. But it's not like he's the only idiot. We saw one captain run out of gas in the middle of the ocean and become a sitting duck out there. We saw another head engineer not order enough oil, which has set them back You know, 3 days to go refuel and another 3 days back, plus all the time after they've wrecked their, you know, one of their few only small boats they have left, which is another stupid thing they did. So it's not like one guy made a mistake and I'm pinning it all on this one guy. This whole show seems to be one big mistake after another. Sorry I'm So Great also sent me a PM telling me about all the whales that Sea Shepherd has saved and all the money they've cost the Japanese whalers. And I get that you want to defend them. I get that you agree with what they're doing and you feel you should defend them. But as much as you agree with what they're doing, you have to admit they look like a bunch of fools doing it. I know there's a lot of shows out there. I watch some of them. A lot of these reality shows about people with different types of jobs. Like there's American Chopper, and there's Pawn Stars where they own a pawn shop. And there's always mishaps in these shows, and they always kind of poke fun at themselves. And you know, the show's kind of about the mistakes and the funny mishaps. But this show, Whale Wars, tries to act like it's going to be about fighting whalers and all this stuff. And then when you start watching it, it's just like watching American Chopper or one of these other shows, except it takes itself way, way more seriously and acts like everything like, ooh, it's a big setback. And it just bothers the shit out of me. The beginning of the show, the last episode, made it look like, I don't know the guy's name offhand, the captain of the Audie Gill was going to board onto the Shannon Maru too. And that never happens because, oh, we ran out of oil and we wrecked the boat and we did this and we did that. It's a bad comedy. That's all I can say. It's like a bad comedy that's supposed to be serious, which makes it even worse. I just want to say for the record, because there's a lot of other comments I've read on here, I am not pro-whaling and I am not against the Sea Shepherd, or I don't feel any sympathy for the Japanese whalers. The reason I watched the show in the first place is because I wanted these guys to succeed and I wanted them to stop these whalers. And I just see them acting like a bunch of idiots making one stupid mistake after another. Not just the guy who wrecked that one boat, but the chief engineer ran out of oil. The fact that they all slept at the same time, you know, when they were supposed to be at war. The fact that they didn't tie their boats up correctly. Just everything compounded, one thing after another after another. They don't look like professionals. And it bothers me because I want to see them stop the whalers. But anyway, that's my response, and thanks for the comments. And you know, there's a lot of back and forth I've noticed in the comment section, and YouTube's new comment feature, or the way they display comments now, makes it impossible to follow a conversation because you can't tell who's posting after what or who's responding to who. So, you know, kind of on a unrelated note, YouTube sucks now. But anyway, appreciate all the feedback, and hopefully the show will get better. Till next time.